Good morning. It's a beautiful day, isn't it? It's a brand new week, and we are here again to make sure that we keep you very, very updated with everything that's going on in the country. And so this morning, we are here to do so. We are starting it on a Monday. It's the 12th day of the month of January. As KMG said, it's not even the 15th day yet. So if your money is finished, then it says, I clear. My name is Roslyn Felly, and this is the News Flash segment. We want to say a very big thank you to Franco Trading Enterprise for always having our back. With Franco Trading Enterprise, you are guaranteed of authentic gadgets, or whatever gadgets you're looking for, whether mobile phones, televisions, or CCTV cameras. Don't worry at all, we've got you covered. You can actually come to any of our shops, or if you want to actually shop in your convenience or at your convenience, just make sure that you download the app on your phone, which is the Franco Trading app, or visit our website for further inquiries, www.francotradingenterprise.com. Franco Trading Enterprise, still phone papa pair fee. Now again, this year we want to go very, very healthy. And so there's only one drink that I will recommend to you. That's the Kowa Natural Fruit Juice. Now this drink is made out of cocoa. Yeah, cocoa, fresh cocoa. Yes, no additive in there. Now grab yours, grab it chilled and enjoy it. You can serve it at your engagement, at parties, at funerals, whatever the event. Don't worry, we've got you covered. Now also, if you want to just drink it at home, yes, you can go ahead and drink it and enjoy, because we want you to be as healthy as possible. Now you can also buy it with us, or you can find us on social media, and we've got you covered as well. So with Kowa Natural, you definitely will be staying healthy this year. Now this morning, I have with me my two guests who are seated and about to delve into the conversation. Now, this man has been a very, very long time since we saw him, and so I think it's the first time he's coming here after 2024 elections, the one and only Bernard Mona. Good morning, Bernard.
Good morning, dear.
How are you?
I could have been better, but it's good to see you in 2026.
It's good to see you too.
Always splendid.
Thank you very much, Bernard. And it's good to see you. But then why did you decide not to come here for a very long time? It's over a year.
Well, if it was a foreign relation, I would say if you don't have visa, you don't have entry permit.
Hey.
And to that extent, when I'm not invited, I cannot just barge into Joy Prime.
Bernard is saying we don't invite. Bernard, we've invited you a few times.
No, I think your producer will bear testimony. Okay. The last time I said I've been back to the media for some time.
Okay.
And she kept, unfortunately, I think the period she wanted me here, I was on the farm.
Okay.
Because I needed to produce enough.
So there was a period I wanted you
to feed Solomon and his eating brigade.
Okay, so again this morning, Solomon Owusu, who is a part of the United Party, has also joined us. Good morning, Solomon.
Good morning, Rosalie.
How are you?
I'm good. I'm
great,
good. Yes, I'm good.
It's good to have you here.
It's good to be here, and don't mind the diabolic and mischievous Mona. He goes to farm, and then the produce or the products never gets to me. I don't know whether he sells them along the way, but at least let me have something from the farm so that I can enjoy with the family.
Oh, no, I agree with you. But my simple credo is that when you come to the farm, you pick what you want.
Okay, so we should come to the farm
but
first.
For me to pick from the farm and come and give you, I don't feed lazy people.
But I'm lazy, that's why I'm a farmer.
You come and pick.
Anyway,
Don't come and farm. Just come
we'll
and
be
pick.
joined by Richard Ahiagba, who is the communications director for the NPP, who will join us on Zoom, and also Honorable Daniel Isiama, who is the acting executive director for Complementary Education Agency, who will also be joining us this morning. Now, Bernard, if you don't mind, I want to do the newspapers.
Please do.
And then we can delve into our conversation for this morning. So I'll start with the
newspapers. These are three.
Yeah, these are three newspapers. So we'll start with the Supreme newspaper. The Supreme newspaper. Brian blocks Baumia from meeting. Kweuman Hine, Opariansa spill fire. KK Sapon backs Kennedy Japan for NPP 2028 flag bearership. Angela List granted bail as CID probes alleged multi-million-dollar embezzlement at BCM International. Ghanaians fumes over alleged NDC slots in security services. KGL welcomes review committed to delivering more value to NLA and GRA. Okere MP launches Get Okere Walking tourism campaign at Edukrom Ojura, and police grab 7 highway robbers. When I saw that the police had grabbed them, I got so excited because it's about time, it's about time. These criminals are brought to book. It's about time. The National Voice newspaper. Oh, which one is this one? I haven't seen this before. National Voice. Okay. 1 year on, where are we is a question. KGL welcomes review committed to delivering more value to NLA and GRA. 118 2024 NPP PCs declare support for Bawumia in presidential primaries. Now, talking about that, there's just 19 days for them to go to the polls to elect a black bearer. We'll talk about that briefly. I'll expand my community engagement to more mosque and other associations, COCA says so, and please grab 7 highway robbers. The final newspaper is the Insight newspaper, The Insight. KGL welcomes review committed to delivering more value to NLA and GRA. Low-income pensioners get major boost as SNIT raises minimum pension by 36.52% for 2026. Towards research in Ghana, Mahama outlines 5-pillar agenda. Lands Minister secures government assets, vow to rescue abandoned projects. South Shore University College announces rebranding, official launch in Accra, and protesters urge UK government to grow a spine and stand up to Trump. All right, so I think there's another story here. 170 delegates of anti-imperialist forces launch united front against U.S. aggression in Venezuela and bullying, gang terrorism, of countries towards a third world war. Actually, I saw this yesterday as well, and I'm like, okay, so now the U.S. is telling their citizens to be very careful in Venezuela because they've started mounting roadblocks and attacking U.S. citizens in Venezuela. Have you heard about it, Bernard?
Well, I think first and foremost, let me say good morning to you, to Solomon, the other panelists that will be joining on Zoom.
Oh, sorry, I got the word wrong. It's gangsterism. Oh, okay, I didn't even see it. Gangsterism. Yeah. All right.
Let me zoom straight to the issues of the United States trying to annex Venezuela. And it has not been a recent struggle. Venezuela controls about 20% of the world's oil resources and one of the richest countries with oil. The United States has never hidden its interests in controlling the oil of Venezuela. So under Hugo Chavez, they did everything, including taking Hugo Chavez away. Citizens' protests restored Hugo Chavez to his post as president. He's never been charitable with the United States of America. And I recall one of the UN speeches when George Bush has finished speaking, President George Bush of the United States, Hugo Chavez, came to the same podium and said, look, yesterday the devil was here at the same podium and the whole place is smelling with the sulfur of the devil, and that the United States led by George Bush represent the devil in our modern era, and that anywhere there is trouble, you find the United States in. And I can also attest to it from our independence to date. African nations and Southern American nations have been devastated by the consistent and deliberate efforts of the United States in order to destabilize and take control of the natural wealth of these countries. So from Ghana to the Congo, from the Congo to Libya, from Libya to where? Anywhere there is instability, to the current Sudan, the tragedy of the Sudans, is clear testimony of what the United States can do in order that they are able to extract, exploit, and take what belongs to a people. And so what they did in Venezuela certainly is an abnormal. You just don't get up and say that you are charging somebody for corruption and go and adapt a certain president. And you see, You take a sitting president and his wife out of the country. You killed over 40 people. And then next day, the United States come to say through its president that why? We are going to take control of Venezuela. We are going to run Venezuela by remote. And by extension, we are going to get oil companies to start to negotiate to take over the oil of Venezuela because the United States needs this oil. What is, for me, is what I describe as the full sellout of the vice president of Venezuela and the minister for defense, right? That they were part and parcel of this whole thing. Because at the end of it, the vice president has been sworn in as president. The minister responsible for defense is still at post. And so on and so forth. That means that there was a negotiation where the vice president calculatedly led Nicolas Maduro into this trap. And the United States had to succeed in taking him out. But as always, I've seen Maduro's responses at the courts. They are intending to bring him back in March. That's his first appearance. They have shifted him to March. And this is what the United States is good at. Take you, then go and profile you, give their own version of who you are, and sell it. And they have kept so many people at Guantanamo Bay. They describe them in all manner of terms, and it is only the United States that is able to tell that you are involved in this. No other person is in that position. And of course, their allies will come and support them. I'm very upset that the world is quiet. What has happened to Nicolas Maduro could happen to John Mahama. And what has happened to Nicolas Maduro could happen to Ibrahim Traoré. It could happen to anyone.
Just because they want your resources.
Just because they want to take your resources. Just because you are unyielding that the United States to take over. At the end of the day, they will do everything to destroy. And I am not surprised that citizens in Venezuela are now checking whoever is an American. They see that the crimes of Donald Trump and the government of the United States is a crime of Americans generally. And so that is what they are mounting, that any American that we are able to spot, we will deal with you physically and in any form that they can handle.
Okay, those are the words of Bernard Mona. Solomon, what do you think about it?
I mean, one of the things that is very difficult for any rich man or any rich country is to become poor. This whole invasion of Venezuela is about how to maintain the dollar as a medium of trading in this world. And, you know, it happened in 1974 when the U.S., through Kissinger, had that arrangement with Saudi Arabia that we will be trading petrol or fuel in dollar. If you were to look into this room and I tell you to pinpoint any asset in this room coming from the U.S., you may likely point to zero. So the United States of America is surviving only on the dollar. That is the root cause of all these. And so since 2018, Venezuela has been dealing with China using the yuan, weakening the dollar further. Saudi Arabia has given the indication that they also intend to trade their crude in the yuan. Already Russia is trading in yuan. And Russia, together with Venezuela and so on and so forth, they are with the BRICS, and BRICS controls about 40% of the world's GDP. And so if you were America and you have realized that Venezuela will continue to trade in the yuan to weaken the dollar, you would want to react. And so it is about the petrodollar politics that we are experiencing currently. But whether or not the U.S. will survive it is another matter. Remember, we used to have the USSR that was very powerful. They lost it. At one point, they can do everything. At a point, they will have to cede their superpower to another continent or another country. So that is what we are going through. Either than that, the very reasons they are citing, you see the man is a terrorist. He's not democratic. But the United States of America have been doing business with Saudi Arabia. What democracy is in Saudi Arabia? In fact, we have the king of Saudi Arabia lead to the execution of a popular journalist, Khashoggi. Remember in Turkey? Are they still not trading with them? You see, they are pouring a lot of drugs into the United States from Venezuela. Now, there always has to be a seller and a buyer. Granted, Venezuela is supplying a lot of drugs into the United States market. Between dealing with those that are buying the drugs in the United States and going for those that are supplying, which one is easier? That you have the people that are in the United States buying the so-called drugs. You are not dealing with them, yet you are so interested in going after a supposed country outside. It will have to take Venezuelans to deal with their own governance structure and not the United States.
The way things are going, it looks like we'll have to have a mediator to solve whatever problem is happening between Venezuela and the United States. Which mediator can come in here at this point?
The world has no credible countries. All of them are selfish. And that is why I keep telling people that Africa must begin to boycott the United Nations. We are rather giving the United Nations some levels of credibility. Other than that, the UN Charter, international laws are very clear that you cannot just get up and enter into another country and abduct the president of that land. And you think that it's okay, when in fact the UN Charter was signed in San Francisco. For the benefit of our viewers, where is San Francisco? It's not in the United States. We signed the UN Charter on your soil and stated that no other country has the right to enter another country to forcibly abduct its president. Yet you commit that. So the UN has lost that credibility. And when UN has lost that credibility, then there is no credible mediator in this. I believe nations must begin, continents, and this is where Africa must begin to unite. These presidents we have that have been going to the African Union, only I don't know whether it's because the beautiful women in Addis Ababa, that's why they go to AU, or they go there and take concrete decisions.
Okay.
Either than that,
but
they must not.
Women in Ghana. There are beautiful women in Ghana.
I have not said so. Have I said that? Why do you want
Anyway, Solomon, I have to welcome Honorable Daniel Yama as well. Good morning, Honorable. How are you?
Very well.
Great, and thank you so much for being here. We are so grateful. So many happy returns, Honorable. Many happy returns. So, Honorable, we're just talking briefly about what is happening in Venezuela, where the citizens are, beginning to defend their own. They are mounting roadblocks and everything to make sure that their oil is not taken away from them. So they're attacking the Americans in the country. So we just take a brief, opinion on it, 1 minute on it, and then we go into our topic.
Oh, like you said, I say good morning to viewers, yourself, and my colleagues. Leader, that's what I saw on the listing. How are you?
Could have been better.
Well, why?
But the kind of politics.
You have come coming to ask how we are.
I've been here with you last week.
So, but today you are late. That's the truth of the matter. So, if you have come, let us
know. The opportunity to express yourself, isn't it?
No, they are empowered. They are empowered.
Now, to me, I don't think, like you said, simply, everybody should always remember this, that Americans don't have permanent friends, but they have permanent interest. Period.
Okay.
An American will come and tell you that, oh, I'm doing this in the interest of the world. That's not the truth. Their own interests. And so immediately they've captured Maduro. What did Donald Trump say? That they are going to take charge of their oil. Is that not it? So that is their interest. It is not democracy. They are fighting what Maduro is doing. They have their permanent interest, the oil. The Exxon and others, they push them, go. So we, from, shall I say, second or third world countries, we should be watching this and strategize. And see how best we can take control of our natural resources. His Excellency John Dramani Mahama said it. When Africans are able to take control of their natural resources and plan very well, with open accountability, we will get there. We should not always think, let's do things in opaque manner. Let's do things in a political manner. That shouldn't be the case. See Ghana taking charge of just 1/100th of its natural resources. See what happens in 2025. We should respect each other, love each other. And whilst we watch the international community, the way things play out, that if you misbehave, somebody will take that misbehavior as an advantage to come and take your natural resources. We should be watching things closely like that.
Okay, Honorable.
Yes, so I think that's what we should do.
Okay, thank you so much. Now, today, we are discussing a matter that has generated public interest. What am I talking about? I'm talking about issues surrounding former Finance Minister Ken Ofori-Atta and actions and claims also being made by ICE against him. Now, at the heart of this discussion, we are discussing, accountability, governance, and the rule of law. Now, many Ghanaians are trying to understand what the case is really about. And so this morning, we want to delve into it. Maybe you don't understand it. Maybe you are asking a lot of questions. You've seen articles, you've read articles, but you still don't have proper understanding to it. And so we are going to make sure we bring you those answers this morning right here on Prime Morning. So maybe I should ask Bernard this question. Maybe he understands it better than we do. So in simple terms, Bernard, how do you understand this whole Ken Ofori-Atta issue between himself and ICE?
Well, I think that is the American ploy to keep Ken Ofori-Atta in the United States and not to release him to the Ghanaian government for the criminal trials.
You think it's a ploy?
It's a ploy
to keep him?
To keep him. The man is on an international warrant, declared fugitive of the law. The United States has been fully informed. Anytime the United States requires any citizen, any person in Ghana, including even vehicles that have been stolen from the United States of United States of America and brought to Ghana, our agencies are fast and speed going round, including taking Shatawale's vehicles and what have you, an economic and organized crime office. So busy with getting a vehicle for the United States of America from Shatawale. We want somebody that has stolen, that is involved in so much rot in this country, to come and simply face trial. The United States of America is unyielding in releasing Ken Ofori-Atta. Ken Ofori-Atta has so much investment in the United States of America. The United States is interested in the job opportunities that his money, his investment in the United States is generating for their people. Now it gets to a point where the attention has been drawn that by your own regulations, Ken Ofori-Atta's visa is expiring within a certain period. And indeed, as you know, within the setting, you can have a visa of a certain level, number of years. But you are required to stay in that country for a certain number of months. You have to exit and return to that country. Otherwise, your visa will not be valid. In this case, Ken Ofori-Atta has exceeded the number of months that he's supposed to stay within the validity of the visa. And then what the United States did is to get the immigration and customs what do we call it, to now go and arrest Ken Ofori-Atta and take him into detention. Take note, it's detention. They have not put him in any prison. Where he is a comfortable place. And I'm sure that you've seen videos and pictures of the environment he's living, right? And the kind of reception that he is offered. And so they have kept him there. And when they take you under the immigration, the ICE, what it simply means is that they are now going to go through to check whether they will extend your stay or they will simply say that you do not. And I have no doubt in my mind that the United States at the end of the day will come and say that, look, they have gone through the motions, they think that it is valid for Ken Ofori-Atta to stay, and then they will extend his stay, and then the government of Ghana will suffer. Okay, so the Deputy Attorney General, that is actually he stated that Ken Ofori-Atta's visa did not expire, but rather it was revoked in June 2025. I am uncertain about any revocation. I am uncertain about any revocation. Who will revoke the visa? Okay, then the Attorney General also said that, and I quote, "I started working with the Americans in respect of Ofori-Atta long before OSP came up with the announcement. I started working with them, and I want Ghanaians to know that he just didn't overstay his visa," he clarified. And this is from the Attorney General. So if your visa is revoked, as soon as your visa is revoked, then you are deported instantaneously. Because it is the country that gave you the visa that can revoke the visa. And as soon as they revoke your visa, then you should not be in detention in their country.
Okay, so this is what he continues to say. He says, the U.S. Department revoked Ken Ofori-Atta's visa in July and gave him until November 29th to leave the country. His failure to comply prompted enforcement action. The visa was actually revoked, so it's not that Ofori-Atta overstayed. So in July, So in July, the American State Department revoked his visa and they gave him up to November 29th to leave the United States. He did not. And then that is how come that they have decided they were going to now pursue him and arrest him. Actually, the arrest was supposed to occur on January 4th, 2026, and they did not do so. But Tuesday, January 6th, 2026, they apprehended him in the Virginia area and took him into custody.
Well, my simple understanding, when your visa is revoked, you have lost any and every legitimacy to continue to exist in that particular jurisdiction.
Okay.
So instantaneously, when your visa is revoked, that is, I'm happy that you have brought the picture of the detention. This is the awaiting area. This is the waiting area of the detention. Can you find such a facility anywhere? That is detention. This is the awaiting area where you go and wait until they now take you to your environment, which is more even cozier. So this is what they have done. And I'm saying that this thing about the Attorney General and what have you, I'm not sure. See, Ken Ofori-Atta is not facing criminal charges in this ICE thing. Do you understand? So, and if you have overstayed your visa, what it means is that you are now a criminal working in the United States. So he should not actually have gone to this detention center. The law enforcement agency should have now started prosecuting him for criminal offenses. That is not what we are perceiving. I think that, look, I hold strongly that all this is a charade. Why? Take note that Arise Ghana started calling and saying that we are going to picket, stay at the United States of America's embassy in Ghana, demanding of the Americans to get Ken Ofori-Atta into Ghana. Just when the press conference and the press thing was done, the United States stated that they have arrested Ken Ofori-Atta and he's in detention.
Okay.
How?
All right, Bernard, let me go to Solomon. But before that, Richard Ahagba has also joined us on Zoom. Richard, good morning. Hello, Richard. Good morning.
Good morning, please. Can you hear me?
Yes. How are you?
I'm well.
Fantastic. And thank you so much for joining us. We'll definitely be coming to you. I just want to have a few conversations here and then I come to you, okay?
Absolutely.
Thank you so much. All right. So, Solomon, do you think the actions taken so far are actually about accountability, or it's more of a political game, you're saying?
It will only be accountability when Ken Ofori-Atta is in this country to explain to us how he, together with his brother, President Akufo-Addo, decided to invest $97 million into a big hole, how they came by that SML, how the PDS deal went, how 52.2 billion Ghana cedis miraculously left a GCB account to an unknown account. Then that is where we will be seeing accountability. Other than that, what you are doing is neither here nor there. Ken Ofori-Atta, we were told, was very sick. That has been the mantra by the lawyers in Ghana here, who really loves this country. They defended it spirited. They told us he had undergone an MRI biopsy-guided treatment and that he was due for a surgery in June. If the Deputy Attorney General's rendition is anything to go by, then it means the United States government is very wicked. Because for somebody to go through a procedure in June and for his visa to be revoked, to my mind, Ken was in the United States because he was undergoing treatment. The question you ask yourself this morning is, was he arrested at the Mayo Clinic? When they arrested Ken, was he in a hospital bed? None of this. He has been chilling in a very cozy area. He lives in a very expensive area. Remember, when he was your finance minister, he boldly told you that he was never going to take a salary from the state. He was that selfless. Ken was that selfless. He wouldn't even take our salary because we were that a poor country. So he was just being magnanimous to the country. Now you are done with your tenure. Come and account to us. You will go and hide under the banner of you are sick. When some of us know that you are not sick. In fact, even if you are sick, there is no law that says that if you are sick, you should not be prosecuted on criminal matters. Go to Zawam. People that are very sick there, they stole plantain, they stole a goat, they stole cassava, they are there. We are talking about the finance minister that led us to borrow $13.5 billion.
But we cannot say that he's guilty.
Nobody has said he's guilty, but his actions and his actions are proving to some of us that he's guilty. What are you afraid of?
What if he's really sick?
But he was holding our purse.
The detention place, is that a hospital?
Rosalind, when you are sick, you go to Mayo Clinic. Is Ken Ofori-Atta better than you? Is he so human than you? That he that kept or was holding our purse sees the need to go to a hospital or clinic in the US, but the people that entrusted the destiny of this country into his hands do not have access to such facilities.
Do we recognize the letter that was released, I think early last year?
Yes.
From the hospital in
that is another criminal letter. And that hospital, you see, I'm in the process of reporting that hospital to the US Embassy for them to also take them on. Because you see, we cannot be in a country where people will think that they will sit somewhere and their institution's name will be used to dupe the people of this country.
Are you saying the hospital was lying?
Absolutely. And this has proven. Look, ICE, if there is anything to go by, before your visa will be revoked, and I have no reason to doubt what the Attorney General is saying, before your visa will be revoked, it's based on about 4 or 5 factors. Fraud or misrepresentation. That you made certain representations that the immigration officers have found out later that you lied. Or you are engaged in a criminal, you have engaged yourself in a criminal activity in the United States, and so they must revoke your visa. Or you are doing something that the visa that you are holding does not permit you, be it working. If you are holding a B2 visa, you are not supposed to work, maybe you are working. Or you are no more admissible in the United States of America based on national security threats. So which of these factors has caused him to be in detention? The country Ghana is saying that you have committed a crime. As we speak, there are about 78 charges at the court on corruption and corruption-related offenses. Your lawyer said, no, you know nothing about that. Then you go to the US, and the US is saying that you have also committed another crime there. That's what you are dealing with. And so for me, nothing can save the situation. All that we are doing is that, or saying is that this administration, if they will even go to the moon, they must bring Ken Ofori-Atta. The last I have heard people say that why don't you try him in absentia? We have tried sending her Temaklo. She's having her 78 million or so, sitting on her 78 million. In the United States, she's not coming. By the way, they must also add sending her Temaklo to the whole Mali. Because nobody must run away with our city.
Okay. Now, Solomon, with what you're saying, it looks like setting out Temaklo, is becoming a conversation as well, because people, and I'm coming to you, Honorable, people actually feel that the NDC is being very vocal about Ken Ofori-Atta's issue, and they want an outcome to it, but are silent on Sedinam's own.
Due diligence and corporate governance is what we are looking at here. We in the NDC will never shout or say that Sedinam should not come. The processes that started and gotten to a point of she being tried in absentia, to me, all those things must be followed. And that is why today, as we sit down here, talking about Ken Ofori-Atta, to me as an NDC member, I am not going to blame any country, especially so America, due process must follow, and until Attorney General came out on Saturday, I was asking myself, is it somebody's visa will what?
Be removed.
Expire. No, will expire in February. But he was arrested in January. Until he came out to say that no, it is not about visa expiration. But he has started some extradition or investigations that he has informed the U.S. government about Ken Ofori-Atta issue being wanted in this country. Being wanted in this country. You realize that Ken Ofori-Atta himself have a network of, let me use a very charitable, viewers forgive, zombies that he put in place. And they are quick to tell you what is wrong with Ken Ofori-Atta. Meanwhile, they are in Ghana. The statements that were issued while he was sick were not issued from the hospital. Ghanaian lawyers and others are issuing statements here. So
but now we are in communication. I mean, distance is not a barrier.
No, you can't go to court with somebody's statement. Do you get it right?
No, but you are saying that those in Ghana are quick to get, information
Yes,
from him.
if Ken Ofori-Atta is in the hospital that is taking money for treating him, what prevented them from giving us information about Ken Ofori-Atta?
Well, they gave us an initial one. That was earlier
subsequently,
last year.
Even last week, you've heard them. The lawyer of Ken Ofori-Atta, what did he tell us? That, the detention was about was not about anything extradition, but they are appealing or trying to work so that on health grounds they can allow Ken Ofori-Atta to stay. My question to them is that, is Ken Ofori-Atta lawyer in Ghana aware that his visa has been revoked? If he's aware, and upon that he made this statement, was he trying to tell Ghanaians the truth? Or he's trying to tell us that he also belonged to that cohort of liars? That is the question we should ask him, because he's a lawyer. Now the issue has come up. So I want to hear from him again that no, his visa has not been revoked. But we are working hard. It is immigration issue on his health ground. I want to hear him today. You see, we Ghanaians should not take the life that God has given us for a ride and try for our personal interest continuously deceive Ghanaians. It shouldn't be so. And I will appeal to NDC. Ken Ofori-Atta should not be NDC's main headache. Our main headache should be proper governance. At the same time, we must ensure that when he comes down, due process, because you heard Attorney General saying that his lawyer in America, who was a former Attorney General for US, asked him whether if Ken Ofori-Atta comes to Ghana, whether he will have a fair trial. Let us give Ken Ofori-Atta, when he comes, a fair trial.
Okay.
Why? We want to know why a minister of state continuously from 2017, borrowing money. Maybe he has a secret to tell us, and how he planned to pay, and how they dispense those monies. If you watch or read the Auditor General's report, the mess that continuously went on for this number of years, Ken Ofori-Atta should be able to tell Ghanaians, we want to know. This is the reason why they said, when you arrest an armed robber, don't kill him. Let him tell you why. So Ken Ofori-Atta in this case, we should allow the due process to go on. He should come down to Ghana and tell us these SML issues, the taxes that we've collected, 52.5, he should tell us so that we know what has happened. The way they dispense money to the National Cathedral and other things, the PDS, the PDS money. He is the finance minister. So today you listen to the NPP and they will tell you that in 2025, nothing magical has happened. Do you get it right? But their finance minister was there, and the rot that we saw is what we are seeing, or we are talking about today. So in the first place, the NPP people should learn from today that something different has happened. where a government of the day have actually said that let us do the right thing. Let us appoint few ministers. Let the appointees be aware that if you expend money too much, you will be fired. It puts everybody in charge, including myself.
How do you defend whatever you're saying, to Ghanaians, to let them know that it's not more of a personal vendetta as a party to Ken Ofori-Atta?
Can you mention to me anybody in the NDC who want to kill Ken Ofori-Atta for what? Ghanaians are saying that he should come. Even the floating voters are saying that if NDC did not try Ken Ofori-Atta, they will not vote for NDC. That is aside. But you see, the reason I talk about corporate governance is every day we are learning. Ken Ofori-Atta's case should be a test case for us in corporate governance or nation's governance. And let people know that, yes, if you occupy a position and something happens, you must come and speak to it.
Okay.
We just want him to come and speak to it.
Okay. So Richard is on.
That's why it is court.
Now,
I'm talking about
the Supreme Court will tell you that the Electoral Commission judgments are.
Let me go to Richard and have a conversation with Richard too. Richard, are you there?
I'm here.
Okay. Now, Ken served under your party during the administration, and of course, people are speaking about it. How do you, as a party, respond to all these claims that is being made, and also the issue between Ken and ICE?
Well, thank you very much. I don't know if it's on the name, but it seems to be an echo. I seem to hear myself back. But here's what I would say. Well, first of all, though, let me say good morning to my good brother in the studio. It's been a while. I haven't seen my former friend who disappeared, the former MP for Graham. He's looking fine.
You're also chilling, yeah?
Rose, here's the issue. You ask him a question about setting up Kamaklu. He skirted around the issue. And then when he came to talk about Ken Ofori-Atta, he's keeping all over his forehead. So some wrong has been done, proving, and Ken Ofori-Atta is running his court. Ken Ofori-Atta has not committed any crime, so to speak, against any Ghanaian law. You can charge him. You can say you have allegations or have concerns. Some certain things under him were done that you need him to come and answer for. But all of that are not equal to a crime. In other words, the statement, the opening statement of my good brother, Bernard Mona, in reference to Ken as having stolen our money is simply not right. At best, it's defaming, and I think that he should desist from using those words. Of course, Solomon has been characteristic, but I don't have any concern about his presentation, at least at this point. But I think that through all the presentations we have seen so far, there seems to be a concern which aims at accountability, and that people who have served in government, in public office, have a duty to account. There is no disagreement at all with them in this sport. The only thing that we need to focus on is perhaps the mischaracterization of the circumstances in which Ken has found himself. I guess that would be the bone of contention between me and any of my brothers in the studio. But on the essential matter of accountability, there's agreement. Because if it were me, I would expect that people account, which is the reason I would join you in asking my honorable brother to come again on the Sedinam Tamaklo matter, because if he can be charged in the manner he is, talking about mere charges, not proven, which our constitution guarantees for him, for you and for me that until we are proven in a court of competent jurisdiction to have committed any crime, we're innocent. I want him to be charged that an individual belonging to their court who has been charged in a court of competent jurisdiction is still at large. And a year after his government has come into power, we can't find that person to come and account. But then he is out there chasing an individual, spiritedly saying that we need to get an individual who has not been charged. Who is merely charged but not proven guilty. Which one is a priority if he is seeking accountability and fighting corruption? The person who has been proven to have been corrupted, who have corrupted himself in office, is the one he should be seeking to be brought first, and then the rest of it can follow.
Okay, Richard.
You see, the double standard is nauseating. And I think that we need to be clear on that. On the matter of acts, I don't know if you wanted to ask a question.
Yeah, I wanted to ask a question. You know, some Ghanaians are of the opinion that the NPP is defending individuals than institutions. How do you defend that?
I mean, do you have evidence of that in what I just said?
I said some Ghanaians are of the opinion, and so, yes.
Yeah, it's people's allegation. You don't have to give credence to it, because here on your program, I have not defended Ken Ofori-Atta that he shouldn't come and answer for any crime. I agree with them that he should come and answer.
Okay.
That's it.
All right.
And so therefore, we should also equally pursue with the same fervor that Senator Tamakro should be brought by the Attorney General who is pursuing and who he has charged. Okay? But one who has been charged, proven to be guilty in court, that one we should be even more spirited in bringing so that she can serve a sentence. Okay. Now, on the issue of acts, I think you recall, you would have latest of this matter. You very recently, the matter that happened in Minneapolis, in Minnesota, you hear this young lady who was shot, mainly on ICE pursuit. The whole immigration and custom enforcement in the United States escalated in the United States following the coming into office of Trump. Their MO has changed, and they are getting even more direct, oftentimes setting aside some of the conventions under the United States law and are getting into people's private spaces. Now, let's be clear. Immigration and custom enforcement were alive under Obama. People were being deported at any material time team in the United States. Enforcement of immigration rules were always at work. But under Trump, it escalated. It got personal, it got confrontational, it got extreme. They were using extreme force. And so it is nothing new except that at this point it's escalated. Okay? Just last time when I think in September, I was in the States, and a couple of friends were calling me and saying, oh, you know, this thing and that thing, we want to come to Ghana and all of that stuff. So it is an atmosphere of unease. So what we are talking about here is everyday life that has gotten worse under Trump. So Ken Ofori-Atta, I was smiling when Bernard Mona was talking about a conspiracy with the United States government to protect Ken Ofori-Atta by saying that it detained him on ICE under ICE charges that he has some immigration or visa situation. It cannot be. It shouldn't be. The point is that if we don't have any issue to do with immigration, you will never be invited for any reason whatsoever. And so what Ken is facing is a real case that affects every Ghanaian or every foreigner in America issue to do with documentation. So it cannot be that there's any conspiracy.
Okay.
Now, the truth is, Ken has taken steps. Now, of course, my brother has asked a question which I would agree that perhaps we need more detail on that his visa is due to expire in, I think, February this year, but then he has taken the proactive step okay, of renewing them. Why was he arrested when he had a valid visa until the 14th? I'm not sure I can explain. The point is that that is the case. That's what we know to be the case. And we also know that Ken is in the process of adjusting his status to change from a visa requirement state to perhaps becoming a permanent resident there. The process is also underway. So perhaps if I can conjecture anything, it would be that perhaps they have noticed a double situation in their documentation, where he's extending his visa and then regularizing his stay in the United States. That could be a basis for that arrest and further investigation. The truth is that now that he is in detention, it gives them a controlled environment to be able to examine his documentation properly. And when they have some satisfaction as to what exactly is happening, then they may have to make a determination whether he has violated any visa rules or any law in terms of what requires him or grant him the permission to stay in the United States. So at this point, I think that we shouldn't run into any fabrications or conjecture, as my brother Mona has done, a very wild imagination of conspiracy to say that Ken is seeking not to come to Ghana. In fact, if I were Ken, I would take very extreme measures not even to come to Ghana, because the extent, okay, of venom, listening to my brother Aitiama, and then even some of the NDC people who are talking as if that Ken is the panacea to any corruption matter in this country. I just beats my imagination.
Richard, let me ask you this. Richard, let me ask you this. Is the party confident that due process alone will clear his name?
Clear his name how?
Clear his name.
No, but I'm saying that we are not concerned about clearing his name or not clearing his name. We are concerned about adhering to our constitution. Okay? You think the MDC government has a problem, and its problem is not Ken Ofori-Atta. Its problem is what they have spoken with their mouth, what they promised Ghanaians in 2024. My brother Esiama is in your studio asking to tell you honestly, maybe off air, but if you can dare him to say it on air, what is happening in his own party? His people are despondent. His people are unhappy. His people feel their own party grassroots feel lied to. Okay? They have problems in their party. So their recourse is to focus on MPP as though MPP is their problem. Haven't you heard the chief, the Attorney General himself, talking about the whole oral thing that has happened, and that things that they have put forth as criminal matters that has annoyed Ghanaians, that made Ghanaians feel that MPP has done something egregious, something corrupt. The whole MPP era under Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo was corrupt. The impression they created today, they are saying that this oral thing, they brought bare bone evidence that the balance of it is all busted. You understand? They get that impression. So I challenge you. What is the basis of all these allegations against Ken?
Okay.
It's not the bare bone gossips. Because ask my brother that he was a member of parliament. How does anybody get to spend Ghana's money? One thing, how does anybody get to spend it? But he's in the studio today saying, how can Ofori-Atta borrow? How can Ofori-Atta borrow and spend? How can Ofori-Atta borrow and spend without the knowledge of Parliament?
All right, I'll come back to you.
So he was in Parliament.
Okay, I'll come back to you.
He's trying to tell you, he's trying to tell me, he's trying to tell your audience that Ken Ofori-Atta can just take a pen, sign a check, and expend Ghana's money without ratification by Parliament. Is that what he's saying?
All right.
It's not true.
Okay.
That's miseducation.
Okay, thank you. I'll come back to you.
Miseducation. So he knows the right thing, but what they are trying to do is that they have a problem. Everything they have said, now the chicken has come home to roost. They can't live to expectation. They talked about jobs. I told you what is happening in their party. It's about jobs. Their own grassroots people want jobs. They can't get it for them. They promise they want to give us 24-hour economy. Where in the name of God is 24-hour economy? It's nowhere.
All right, Richard, don't worry, hold on.
That's the problem. Detains Ofori-Atta is not NDC's problem. NDC is its own problem.
All right, thank you very much. I'll definitely come back to you. Let me come into the studio because my guests in the studio also have to have some time to speak. Bernard, you wanted to ask Richard some questions, or you just want to
just fairly. Next time I'll also be in the comfort of my house.
Oh no,
so
he had an emergency.
So that I can also go through this. I mean, it is.
No, he had an emergency.
This is not the first program that I am doing that Richard always find it convenient, and your timing too. Right?
I've come back to you. You're speaking twice.
I'm saying that
only once. So this is the third, even your third submission. We've done the Venezuela.
No problem. Next time I say I will also be at home and I also do one submission. There's no problem with that. Now, first and foremost.
Yes, Bernard.
The issue of Sedinam Tamaklo. It's amazing that MPP will be talking about it. What steps did the MPP take when they were persecuting or prosecuting Sedinam to get Sedinam into this country? Was she declared at any point as a fugitive of the law? Did they make any reach out to bring her to Ghana? What difficulties did the MPP encounter that stopped them from getting Sedinam into this country? They were laxed. They did not know what to do. A government comes and knows what steps to take to bring a wanted person into this country. And they are pursuing that course, and you are reminding them that you failed. So go and act on our failure of not bringing Sedinam into this country. I just can't understand the head and tail of my brothers, particularly Richard Anyaba. Richard, see, you should be telling us that you took A and B steps to get Sedinam into this country. You encountered A, B, C challenges. You have failed to do so. Now you want somebody that did not put Sedinam to this process and saying that go and bring Sedinam. How does that happen? How does that happen? Assuming that you are putting it on a partisan lens, the MPP certainly could not have been a friend to Sedinam. You wanted Sedinam very badly, and yet you did nothing to bring her to this country. Now you are telling NDC to go and bring Sedinam to this country.
Maybe they are saying because the NDC is in power now.
And so I have no question about that. I have no question about that. I have no question about it. So that should be on moral persuasion that you are not telling NDC that we failed. But can you now use your expanded and critical lenses to bring in Sedinam, which I support? That why should somebody be sentenced and the person cannot be found? But when Sedinam come to Ghana, does she have a family in Ghana? Is her family gone out? Even external ties within the family will also show that she will one day come. And we should be vigilant and put her on the immigration, stop list. As soon as she comes in, they pick the person. So I think that it is a possible cause. But you cannot be speaking with such gusto, as if you did something to bring her, meanwhile you did zero. That is one of the factors. I don't know the alternative word for...
It's a fair call that they actually...
Which one is the fair call?
No, I'm just asking.
You failed. Okay. To apprehend. You failed to do the needful when you were in power.
But they are in opposition.
You had everything to do.
Fair enough. I understand. But I said they are in opposition, right?
I'm saying that should be a moral suasion. Where I sit, I did not prosecute or persecute Sedinam. If I am making the call today, I'm sure Ghanaians will listen. But not from the same bunch of people who decided that they will not go for Sedinam and now turn around and say somebody go for the Sedinam. How does that work? Okay. Now, the second thing, how do you call, what is the alternative word for a thief?
A criminal.
What is the alternative for it? I want Richard to enlighten me. Look, this is a man who took COVID-19 money and gave it to enterprise insurance.
Until found guilty.
Oh.
Until the court.
You wait till your phone is stolen. Then you come and tell me that, no, my phone is not stolen.
But found him guilty.
So therefore, I am saying that I know Ken Ofori-Atta took our money and gave honest check. Monies were distributed like granules being sold in Balgatanga market. Do you understand? He took our money and distributed COVID-19 money. They went and decided that they will go and get caterers. Caterers that will not give receipts. They put youth organizers into vehicles. They were standing and throwing food.
They were throwing few foods.
After that, the bill that came, they could not justify it. When you see a thief and you say that, no, the person could have been a pastor. It's your own cup of tea. But I cannot sit at any platform to come and, try to massage what it is. I have never done so, and I'm saying that this is what pertained. The other question that I want to put across is this, and finally on that. Look, these issues, and Richard came to rather confirm what I have been suspecting. He said that Ken Ofori-Atta applied for regularization of his stay in the United States of America. And so this detention is to hold him up until a decision is taken on his application for regularization to stay in the United States of America. Is that not supporting my position that everything is being done? In the end, Ken Ofori-Atta will be given the lease to stay in the United States of America.
But Bernard, all right, let me go to Solomon, because Solomon will also have to answer some questions here. Now, if the allegations are proven, Solomon...
And finally, permit me, Ken is being detained in the United States of America. The MPP don't find it necessary. Why are they not demonstrating? Because when some ones of them were picked up by Ioko, the entire parliament walked to Ioko. So I am expecting that by now the MPP would have taken the United States of American embassy completely, sitting there and asking that, look, the government of the United States have taken Ken Ofori-Atta into detention.
Would you be surprised if Ken is brought to Ghana?
It's the remotest thing that I can ever think about.
Okay, all right. Well, the Attorney General says they are working on it and Ken will definitely be brought to Ghana. But if the allegations are proven, what should be the consequence for public office holders? Solomon.
The allegations as to the corruption,
yes,
some of which we know are is very clear and clear, like the whole. It will rather shape our body politic. You see, a lot of people are entering into politics not to serve, but rather they think that it's an avenue for looting. And until we bring justice to the people of this country by handling and tackling Ken Ofori-Atta very well, it will never cease. You see, one thing must be made clear to every Ghanaian. This is a Ghanaian who has been detained in the United States of America. And to put the issues in the right perspective, to let people understand that Ken feels that he has done something wrong to the people of this country. The Ghana embassy in Washington decides to extend a helping hand, assistance. The man says, no. He doesn't want anybody from the Ghana embassy to know what is actually happening. Hey.
No, so actually what he said was that...
He doesn't want to have anything to do with Ghanaians.
Wait, that's what he said. So what he said was that until his lawyers are present, he doesn't want the meeting to happen.
Until the lawyers are present to defend him against Ghanaians, are the embassy staff lawyers, are they going to interrogate him? The embassy staff are only going to ask Mr. Ken Ofori-Atta, how can we help you? You say until your lawyer is there, you are not ready to speak to your own countrymen, Ghanaians. Hey, Ken, so now he doesn't want to have anything to do with Ghanaians.
So is that raising eyebrows for you?
Everything about him, let me tell you, we are only embellishing, we are there being diplomatic with the situation. The conduct of Mr. Ofori-Atta led to more than 800 people dead. Elderly people, according to Dr. Michael Ejekum.
Who also died.
he eventually died in the process. I know a lot of contractors who died by virtue of his actions and his inactions. Come and answer. The NPP says, no, they believe in accountability. But you heard my brother Richie say that if he were Ken Ofori-Atta, he would go to the extreme of staying in the United States.
But he has applied to stay there.
The man says that he's changing his status, his resident status to become a permanent resident. Meanwhile, we have his lawyers in this country who have been assuring us daily that the man is not afraid of anything. He was going to come. What has he done? You see how we have a lot of lawyers in this country who themselves don't mean well for the good of this country. They don't mean well. They have been lying to us through their teeth while the nation suffers. But I want to assure this administration.
If you say they don't mean well.
If they mean well, and your client is being accused of this huge crime, you will be the first person, knowing very well that he has done nothing wrong, to encourage him to come back so that you defend him. After all, how many people were in government? Was he the only person that was in government? They are out of government. People are chilling. Some are even going on demonstration, threatening the security that they are not behaving well. Has anybody gone for them?
Could it also be, and I'm just playing the devil's advocate.
No devil's advocate.
Okay, I'm just saying.
Play the Jesus advocate here. Nobody's going to play devil's advocate.
No, wait. Could it also be that they are defending this because they can tell that it could, or it's beginning to look like a personal vendetta, because that's how some Ghanaians vendetta by the NDC.
No, I'm not an NDC person.
No, I'm saying, could it also be that the NPP, they are saying, like from what Richard is saying, stay there, because if you come in, maybe they could say certain things that are not true, just because they want to make sure that they let the party or the grassroots believe that we have found somebody guilty of corruption.
That is it's lack of tact, it's lack of strategy from the New Patriotic Party, because here is a party that was accused whilst in government of engaging in corruption. Now, a key member of your party has been accused in such a manner. If I were the MPP, we would be encouraging Ken Ofori-Atta to come to this country.
But they haven't told him not to come.
But what they are saying, they are encouraging him to stay.
But you didn't listen to Richard.
Richard said that he should come, but then again...
If he were him,
yes,
he would make sure that he secures his residence.
He did say that.
And then live there. Yeah. And that has been the position of a lot of the MPP members. But I can tell you that the longer Ken Ofori-Atta stays in the United States, it benefits the United Party. Because if you keep the MPP at the lowest ebb, and we will take over and deal with the National Democratic Congress. So we are happy that they are not bringing him back. They are not encouraging him to come, because then he knows that he has actually committed a crime against this country. Now it is clear that he's not sick. Let's get that straight.
Okay.
He is not sick.
Okay. All right, I'll read a few messages and I come to you, Honorable. So, presumed innocent until proven guilty, but if a former finance minister ran away with his tail between his legs, then we can also ask, why are you running? Patrick from Accra says so.
Why are you running?
Let me see. I have a few messages here. All right. Ooh, sometimes when you're clicking, then it goes somewhere else. All right. Okay, so this one says, Roslyn, I'm finding it difficult to understand how you've allowed your panel to use words that suggest that the former finance minister is guilty of any offences labelled against him. Please, I did tell them that it's an allegation. So I did say that it is an allegation. Good morning, Roslyn. There's one thing about throwing allegations around and having facts to prove your case in the competent court of jurisdiction. In fact, your panel in your studio are exhibiting classic.
No. Read it.
No.
That's ignorance. So we have seen it. Don't worry. I don't have problem with it.
Mr. Abattoir and Asawase, good morning, beautiful Roslyn. You can run, but you cannot hide forever. We are expecting the relevant authorities, including those in the United States, to cooperate to ensure he returned to face a due process. The NPP should be serious and stop using the Sedinam Tamaklo matter as a smoke screen to distract from the accountability issues confronting Ken Ofori-Atta. Honest public office holders should never evade accountability. Ghana is undergoing a reset, and accountability remains a core principle of that reset. Roslyn, ask Richard if Ken is more human than the former finance minister, ? Kwame Pepra, Chachu Chikata, Sepa Yankee, Victor Salome, who even died. So what is Richard talking about? They will stay in opposition forever. Mowat inside Asatre Elembele. Okay. Good morning, Joy Prime. Greetings to all and sundry, especially King Solomon and Bernard, the voice of the masses. Please don't only condemn the state-sponsored terrorism in Venezuela, but start massive demonstrations across Africa against America and boycott everything American, including the World Cup and UN meetings, to serve as a deterrent warmongers of the world who have no respect for international laws. They should boycott World Cup. Do you know it's somebody's prayer topic in Ghana here? Hey. Anyway, Ahaji Hamza says, good morning, beautiful Rosalind. Truth be said, what America did to Venezuela is so shameful. This is an attack on democracy. Why will such a thing happen in an elected president, to an elected president? Remember, the same people did same to Gaddafi, Saddam Hussein, Japan, and other countries. America is such a shit. Okay. All right. Thank you so much. Let me see if I have some more messages here. This one is waiting to arrive. Gatsi Man Brekum. The presidential extension is totally unnecessary. No, this is old. Sorry. He says that on what basis is that gentleman making pronouncement that Ken is guilty? Does he know the law more than everyone? It's misleading for our Attorney General to claim credit for an ICE arrest. Only U.S. authorities can revoke visas or order ICE actions. Ghana cannot direct ICE. If extradition was the goal, that follows a legal court process, not a visa cancellation. This public boasting reflects arrogance, not law. Okay, well, we'll get to know. I don't know if he will be brought to Ghana, but Honorable, will we see an extradition happening? Because that's what Ghanaians are waiting for.
It is a process. And that is why I said, I could see my brother Anyangbam is quoting me left and right. Because I did mention during my submission that we shall allow due diligence.
Yeah.
I did mention that.
Yes, you did.
Everybody came and say as if I said Ken Ofori-Atta should come. Ken Ofori-Atta's coming will be in MPP's own interest. Read my lips. If Ken Ofori-Atta did not come, that will be my campaign topic for the next 4 years. And they should rather go and bring him down.
What will you say to people?
If I'm sitting by an MPP person debating, the only thing I tell you that if you have so much wisdom, go and bring Ken Ofori-Atta. I end my debate. I end my debate, and it will continue for 4 years. And I've started. Anybody who I meet as an MPP person, and you are talking so much, I say if you have so much wisdom, go and bring Ken Ofori-Atta. He held our purse. And we want to know what was in the kitty before he left. And all that has happened. Now, if my brother says that NDC has problem, yes, NDC has problem. And those NDC gentlemen who have not gotten job, I sympathize with you. We are working hard to create opportunity not only for the NDC, but the MPP too have problems. They don't have jobs. I don't know whether my brother haven't listened to his own MPP people saying that His Excellency John Dramani Mahama have done so well giving the job to the youth who help him. I don't know whether he has not heard it. We have done it, but we'll continue to do it because a lot more. And I'm saying it again, not only NDC, youth who don't have work, MPP and other parties, Ghanaians, many youth don't have job.
But you promised,
and we must create,
right?
What Richard didn't say is, how long have we been in power? How long have we been in power? We are talking about curing a disease of 8 years within 365 days, and they are shouting.
I've heard that before.
Yes. How long? But look at what we have done. If their flag bearer was talking about when fundamentals are weak, the exchange rate will expose you. What are the fundamentals of today? What is about their 1D, 1F? What did they do about it? And we're not going to write. The 24-hour economy is going to work and expand the economy, agriculture and manufacturing.
How many job opportunities should we expect the NDC to create in 2026?
If I tell you now, I'll be telling you as a human. Because what happens in 2025 is just by the grace of God. Were you expecting Ghana's fundamentals to be like this? No. But we'll consolidate on that, and everybody must work. I allow Anyagba to actually blame NDC about monies that were taken. And this is the reason why I'll continue to blame Professor Michael Kwe. I was in Parliament when the Templeton bond issue came up. Honorable Haruna was talking, Honorable Atu was talking, Adongo was talking. Don't do it this way. Professor Michael Kwe, the Speaker of Parliament, allowed leeway for Ken Ofori-Atta to abuse us. And I would like everybody to be mentioning the name of Professor Michael Kwe whilst in Parliament. He, together with Ken Ofori-Atta and Anado, abused us with Baumia because he was just giving. It came to a time that the minority leader then, Honorable Haruna, had to be entangled with the Speaker. Honorable Haruna will stand up and Professor Michael Kwe will not call him. And they've just given leeway to Ken Ofori-Atta. And then they were having 169 MPs. And then we were having 106. So they were using the majority to bully us. Today, if you are Anyagba, you come on air and be telling us that everything passes through Parliament. Yes, I agree. And that is why I am praying and asking that the NDCs, the super majority, should not be used to abuse Ghanaians. It should be used to the benefit of the nation. The Speaker must act and act well. We should know where our monies are going. And when the proper criticism comes, we must listen. Because we are not there for ourselves. We should not be there for ourselves. We must be there for the nation. And when you listen to people during this Christmas, people were saying that, look, the Christmas was so enjoyable. Why? Not that His Excellency put money into anybody's pocket. But when you work on the fundamentals and people can go and come, they feel happy in their country. Today, the business people are very happy. I saw a gentleman on the social media who is saying that the importers are cashing in. Why did he say so? He said the container that he imported and cleared in 2024 for about 135,000 Ghana cedis, today is being cleared about 75,000 Ghana cedis. What do you think about that? This is what we want Ghanaians to feel. The Ghanaians must be in their country and do business and make money. And that is what we are working towards. And so all Ghanaians should be rest assured. Once Ghanaians are saying that the nation is moving in the right direction, we in government must consolidate on that and make sure Ghanaians feel happy in their country. Their business should not be collapsed. Anyagba will not let Ken Ofori-Atta come. But if I ask Anyagba, does it make sense for a finance minister to close banks that need 9 billion liquidity and then use 25 billion Ghana cedis to close those banks? Does it make sense to him? He should answer me. This is the person we are talking about. You should come and tell us how it makes sense to use 25 billion to close banks.
Okay.
And let people lose their business.
Honorable, some critics say the NDC sometimes communicate allegations in ways that create public outrage before investigations are even complete. How do you react to that?
It was even Anyagba who was saying that Ken Ofori-Atta to stay more and get a citizenship because of the venom. Where is the venom? What I said, is it a lie? What I've just said, is it a lie? So if this person is brought to this country and tell us how it makes sense to use 25 billion to collapse banks instead of 9 billion liquidity, and we get correct answers, can't we use it to develop Ghana? That is what we are talking about here.
Okay.
So they should not. But I am telling them in a very charitable manner, it will be in their own interest that they themselves should go and bring Ken Ofori-Atta. Other than that, as for me, I finish with my campaign points.
All right. Now, Richard.
Rosalind.
Yes, I know you've been listening in, and it's getting heated in here. I know you've jotted down a lot of things that you want to say, but do you think Ken has cooperated fully with the ICE and also with Ghana?
Well, so I like that you put the two issues separately. That there's the ICE and then there's the Ghana front. And in terms of the Ghana situation, I think he's been forthright, saying that for health reasons, he'll come when he's able to. And I think that for everyone listening, it should make sense to all of us that yes, we're human. All of us are human, such that when you are ailing in your body, everything pales in comparison to you wanting to get well, unless you haven't been sick before. Okay, unless you haven't been sick before. If you've been sick before, if your body has challenged you before, nothing makes sense. Nothing makes sense apart from wanting to get well. So I think that to the extent that he's able to, through his lawyers, to be available, to be willing to even do remote conversations as we are doing, to be able to give the preliminary information that we're seeking, the clarifications that we're seeking about certain things, I think it's instructive. He's cooperated to the extent that he's able, bodily able or health-wise able to engage. I think he's cooperating, and I don't see anything from Ken Ofori-Atta's posturing to say that he doesn't want to answer or be accountable to the state. What we have now is a human situation that could happen to me, happen to you, happen to Mona, happen to my brother Esiama and Solo, at any rate. And so I think that there should be a bit understanding, knowing that they too can fall in that situation. But
I think I
have a few things.
Sorry, before you go into it, eyebrows were raised because we heard that Ken actually declined the offer of support from the Ghana embassy. He was waiting for his lawyers to be present before he even spoke with Ghana embassy. But Ghana embassy is ours. And so why not just be with ours? Why not speak with ours if they are willing to help?
Yeah, of course, it is discretion, right? So that even here in this country, the police in this country are brothers and sisters. But then when you are arrested, you need your lawyer because certain things we as lay people will say, but in the face of the law, you may be incriminating yourself. And so that's why the law provides here in our country, living in the United States. In fact, the whole business of the Miranda rights is a universal law that when you arrest by police or you have a right to remain silent.
Yeah.
Okay, because what you say can be held against you. And if you are not sure what you are going to say can incriminate you or not, it's better to have your lawyer.
But the Ghana embassy didn't arrest him. They are just helping. They are assisting him. They are offering support, not arrest, not interrogation.
Yes, of course. But you know that there's a legal tussle between the country, Ghana, and Ken Ofori-Atta. I think you are aware of that.
Right.
With the whole extradition process. So that's a legal situation.
Right.
So how do you go and talk to that person without your lawyer? And so I think that is just right. Bernard Mona will ask for that. Solomon Owusu will ask for that. My brother Esiama will ask for that. If they won't ask for that, my advice to them this morning is that always ask for the presence of your lawyer before you speak to anybody.
Okay.
It should be a standing order for them to ask for that. But you know, there's an interesting thing that Bernard said, that we, the MPP, should rather be interested or should feel some remorse in asking for Madam Ferdinand Tamaklo to be brought. It's shocking. In other words, they're saying that the MPP in opposition should be telling the NDC how to fight corruption, when they were on the high horses in opposition saying they're coming to fight corruption. If they are fighting corruption, they should fight corruption. The things that we did and couldn't bring Ferdinand Tamaklo to the country should not be the reason why they want to bring her. What they have easier, what they have done for them, is that a judgment has been secured against an individual. It is a burden on the state to bring that person to justice. So you cannot quibble around and you cannot dance around it. Of course, it's not the NDC that is saying that because they can't say it. It is Bernard Mona who is saying it, who has the liberty to say it and walk away. But I want the government to tell us that they want the MPP to come and beg them, to come and kneel before them, to be remorseful, okay, to be morally repentant, to say, oh, please bring Ferdinand. I want the NDC to say that. So this morning, I think I can leave it there because Richard, Bernard who's saying it. We have secured a judgment against an individual.
Okay.
While we were in office, we're taking steps to bring the individual. Government being a continuum, when you inherit the state, you continue. So if you have become so energized in prosecuting corruption, and on the back of your campaign promises, you have inherited a situation where somebody is already prosecuted. That one, you are not issuing an Interpol red alert for an individual to be brought. You are not fighting for an extradition orders for that person to be brought. Okay, so here is what you can understand, that there is an agenda. Okay, there is an idea, there's a political conception to try and besmirch the character of an individual. It is not to fight corruption. And I'm telling you, Rosemary, you have listened to the Attorney General. You have listened to the Mr. Domelevo, who was part of ORA. You have listened to the Deputy Attorney General, Justice Trimside, having said that the balance of the evidence brought by the oral people, okay, with challenges. The Attorney General himself said it's a bunch of gossip. In fact, Domelevo did the classic rendition. He says that the balance of the information brought by oral is a bunch of garbage. That's what he said.
All right, talking about that. Okay, talking about that, Richard.
So I'm saying to you that, hold on, I'm saying to you that this NDC government, they have beaten more than they can chew. So they are looking for a scapegoat. Because right now, as we speak, my brother has not been able to answer, except to mention Okwe's name, Professor Okwe's name. For what? There is documentation, whether or not the MPP had a majority, and so therefore things passed in Parliament. There is documentation. He should verify that has anything gone to Parliament that is contrary to law.
All right.
Has Ken Ofori-Atta spent any money to this state that is against the dictate of the law?
Well, the court of law will let us know if the court of law, yes, the court of law will let us know once there's interrogation, once they decide in law or in the court whether he's proven guilty or not, we will get to know whether he stole or he didn't steal. So at this point, okay, thank you. Richard, at this point, I want us to take a look at what the Attorney General has been saying over the weekend. He was on Newsfile and he spoke on this issue. Please take a look at it.
John Ashcroft, the former General of the United States of America, all right, called me and said he was the one representing, Ken Ofori-Atta in the matter. But his concerns, that the reason he called me was for me to assure him that when Ken is returned to Ghana, all right, he will get a fair trial. And I assured him of the fact that under this government, and in accordance with Article 19 of the Constitution, his right to a fair trial is guaranteed. No one is going to, Ken Ofori-Atta is not he's not the person that will come here and we're going to treat him very shabbily and so on and so forth. He will be accorded due process of law. His fair trial rights will be guaranteed and so on. So I talked with John Ashcroft, but at the time, I could not, including the lawyer, the lawyer who granted the interview.
That's right.
So there were three lawyers who spoke to me via, a Zoom on that day when they were expressing concerns. Okay. So at that point in time, it was confidential. I could not mention John Ashcroft as his lawyer. All right. But I was simply saying that when you take the fact that he has these top lawyers coming to court in America to defend him, it is not going to be a day's work to bring him home. That's because he will appear before in this current matter. He will appear before an immigration judge. All right, on January 20th, he's appearing before an immigration judge.
Right.
He has a right to appeal that decision to a district court.
Right.
From the district court, he can go to a circuit court of appeals.
Yeah.
Then from there to the United States, Supreme Court. That is potentially the legal pathway to, the determination as to whether or not he should be taken from America.
Right.
So you know that even from day one, I didn't make this public, but I started investigating Ofori-Atta. All right. In fact, in his case, I'm doing it with some foreign investigators that are tracking, all the offshore dealings and so on, all right? And then, of course, we are also doing our own investigations here. They are inconclusive as we speak. I mean, we have not, come to any conclusion. So
this is different from the SML?
It's different, totally different, and potentially mind-blowing, but you know that I will not, give any details at this point in time. So I started working with the Americans in respect of Ofori-Atta long before OSP, came up with their announcement. Yeah, I started working with them, and I want Ghanaians to know that he just didn't overstay his visa. The visa was actually revoked. So it's not that Ofori-Atta, overstayed. So in July, the American government revoked, the State Department revoked his visa, all right? And they gave him up to November 29th of 2024 to leave the United States, okay? He did not. And then that is how come that they, decided they were going to, now pursue him, and arrest him. Actually, the arrest was supposed to occur on January 4th, and they did not do so, but on Tuesday, January 6th, they, apprehended him, in the Virginia area and took him into...
You're saying this is not exactly about immigration?
Yes, it's not exactly about immigration.
His visa his visa is not expired.
No, it was revoked. The visa was revoked.
The Attorney General has made everyone aware that this one, his visa was revoked. It's not an immigration issue. Bernard, are you happy now?
Oh, I am not. I'm saying that every revocation of a visa.
So you don't believe the Attorney General?
Well, that is his word. And you see, if you revoke somebody's visa, the person loses legitimacy to stay. So why is the visa revoked? The person is still allowed to stay in the country. What we are hearing, and particularly from Richard Ahiagba this morning, is that Ken Ofori-Atta knows that his visa is coming to an end, and he has applied to have a permanent residence in the United States. So
telling the truth now?
And I have said that, look, all these are just a bunch of charades to ensure that Ken, we are told, Arise Ghana said that we are going to picket at the United States Embassy, return Ken Ofori-Atta to the laws of Ghana, let the laws of Ghana take him through the due process. If in the end he is innocent of the crimes that we said he has committed, he is working a free man. In fact, that will even save the image of the political party that he led. This is a man whose own political party members of parliament, said that we are tired of always having to defend the lies that you bring to us. Resign. The man said, no, I cannot resign. Under health condition, Ken Ofori-Atta was taken out of this country. His position as Minister for Finance was reserved. The majority leader in parliament had to come and represent Minister for Finance, and delivered a budget statement. Who drafted that budget statement? When the man was sick and not sure whether he was going to recover or not. That budget statement was delivered. Ken came back as Minister of Finance to implement the content of that budget statement. Right? A sick man. He was ready to do the work of Ghana. Today you are sick, we say come and face justice. Under COVID-19, Ken Ofori-Atta was not sick. Did he travel outside for medicals? So it means that Ghana has capable health facilities to be able to handle the conditions that Ken is going through.
But I think at a point, he was sick and then he was out of the country for a while, right?
That was post-COVID.
Yeah, that was post-COVID.
Why is Ken running away?
22.
If you committed no crime, why are you running away? When they are shouting thief, 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 and you are the first to take off, nobody should tell you that you are the thief.
Bernard, what advice will you give to both parties? Because, as we are having this conversation, we hear of Sedinam, then we are hearing of Ken. We need advice.
I have said time without number.
Party. We want to make sure that we ensure public confidence.
I didn't understand, and I still don't understand why Sedinam is not in this country. Because I don't see how I can enjoy the comfort of another man's country. With everything that I have labored for, the connections and what have you that I have in this country. I would rather come and be charged and imprisoned in my country than to be in somebody's country when the whole world is looking at me. And there will be Ghanaians who will come across you and say, oh, you are why? Are you not a criminal? So come home and serve. If you have issue, come home and go to the court and fight for it. So Sedinam, on her own volition, should be interested in coming to Ghana. That is one. Second, if the NDC want to prove their case, they should also put in the necessary measures to bring in Sedinam to Ghana. And I think that as for MPP, you cannot justify any day why Sedinam was tried, was sentenced under your period. You did nothing to bring the lady to this country. All of a sudden, you are saying that go and bring the person. It's the same way they are doing. You took the CD to a different level, CD-dollar relation. Today, the thing has come down. You are telling us that the marginal increases is not acceptable. So as for my friends in the MPP, I thought that by now they should be taking time to reflect on their bad record. And I keep saying this. If I have power, anywhere I see President Akufo-Addo in our books, in any document, you just take bitumen and plaster it. Because this is a man you don't want to be associated with as president before.
Oh, Bernard, that's not fair. That's too harsh a statement.
I wish I could do less.
That's a harsh statement.
I wish I could do less. Seriously. This man...
This is somebody who got power twice. Ghanaians voted him.
Yeah, one of the powers that he got was that the Electoral Commission, under dubious legal regime, will say that a person that is accused of doing wrong things should not appear.
But Bernard, this man also brought free SHS.
Under what conditions?
No, whatever it is, we still have.
I'm saying under what conditions?
Well, he implemented it.
That
did
under
something. There are people that.
I'm saying that if I have the opportunity today, I'll take bitumen. You know bitumen? Very dark, that we used to put on our roads. Anywhere I come across President Akufo-Addo, I will take away the president attached to his name. His record of negativity, his defense of the rot, his protection of people who were out there. Look, companies were given contracts in this country when they were not registered by the Registrar General of Companies. They had no tax clearance certificate whatsoever. They had no Senate certificate. They had they had nothing to be able to secure government contracts. Under Akufo-Addo, they were given. Persons that were involved in it were simply released and asked to go and contest for parliament. And then
we agree that he has some good sides.
I'm saying that on a scale, you measure the good and the bad. When the bad outweighs the good, you don't come talking about good any longer. Anyway,
Solomon, you were nodding. You wanted to say something.
The truth of the matter is that the longer Ken stays, the advantage it is to the UP, and the worse it is for the MPP. But let me say...
What do you want to see happen?
No, he has to come. I mean, for the integrity of his family, himself, the society that he belongs to, he must come and prove his innocence. You understand? We have been assured by the Attorney General that when he comes, he will be given fair trial, and indeed it's a constitutional provision.
Will you be surprised if he's not found guilty?
I will be very surprised.
Why?
Because I've seen the charges, and I've seen the reality on the ground.
But you don't have evidence.
You see, there's evidence. We can only produce the evidence when we are in court. Is that not the case? Look, he should have been arrested long ago, Ken Ofori-Atta. Do you know the Obotan situation, the Obotan case involving the Senate? When he, together with that Obotan company, swindled the Senate. But like I said, or like people are saying, here I agree with Richard as well. Our legislative arm has most often disappointed the people of this country. He shouldn't have been made a minister in the first place. When his name came up, he should have been rejected by Parliament based on the Obotan situation alone. We allowed him to go, so he felt that, this country only talk, no action. And that's how we can be having all this situation. At the moment, the man is saying that he is not ready to come to Ghana, and he is fighting to be a resident of the United States. And so that he can sit on the money. Go and check Ashcroft law firm. The lawyer who is representing his law firm, how much they charge per hour. They are not taking less than 4,000 cedis per hour. Where do you think that money is coming from? Oh, the man is so rich. So rich. When his party was not in government, he was not living in Washington, but when the party came to power, he became your finance minister. Afterwards, he doesn't want to live in this country, and he has money so much that he's able to engage lawyers, including former Attorney General of the United States of America. What has he done wrong that he doesn't want to come? We must set a very good example for the younger ones who are entering into our politics. I see a lot of people in our body politics. They have no clue, they have no business being there. The only motivation being there is that they look up to those that have occupied positions before and see how they have been able to steal from the state. When we say steal, no, you should use another way. Call it as it is.
But if you say steal, you don't have evidence again.
Oh, the evidence abounds. The evidence abounds. So we would await him.
You can actually use the word allegation.
Or
alleged.
We have been using allegation, and every day the money is going. Every day, every year, the Auditor General comes out with a report. We see the money is going to the drain. We go and borrow. We don't see what the money is done to used for. We continue with this allegation, and people hide under these allegations, and they steal from us, and we continue with it. Allege. And poverty. When you go to these countries, these regions, poverty greets you.
Okay. If the evidence does not support the allegations, will the NDC publicly acknowledge it and move on?
My sister, I said that to me, our interest is not Ken Ofori-Atta. I told you so from the beginning. Because even he giving money out for the building of cathedral without informing Parliament, what evidence are you looking for? They called me and said contingency votes. They went and picked money. But the law says that before you can dip your hands into the coffers of the state, let Parliament know. He didn't do that. And Yagba is blaming me that everything Parliament. But this case, Parliament don't know. And Yagba, it will be in your good interest. You, the MPP people who are on top of the roof, shouting that Ken Ofori-Atta should not come. It will be in your interest for you yourself to go and bring this man here. Other than that, that one, we will talk about it. Because Ken Ofori-Atta doesn't fit anybody. In fact, like my brother Bernard Mona said, that if he should find the name of Nanado, is that not it? Yeah. Even the vice president, former vice president, his position was a liability. I'm talking about His Excellency Bawumia. His position was a liability. Left, right, center. What didn't we see in this country? He, together with these people, have given what? Insurance guarantee to a loan for our ECG to be taken by PDS. What evidence are you looking for again? But you see, MP people have no shame. That is why my brother Honorable Yagba is standing there talking. He has no shame. Because I don't know whether he could not go through these figures. As an educated person, as I know he is, he could not. But he wants to continue to deceive the electorate, their support, the base. Oh, Ken Ofori-Atta did not do anything. And this is not going to chop Ken Ofori-Atta. You say he should come and account for his stewardship. Period. No rendition saying this and this and that. But NPP has been the most laziest government I've ever seen. If you try somebody for 8 good years, you couldn't bring him. 8 good years. Yes, we will bring him. We must not leave that case. But like my brother Bernard Mona said, what were you people doing? 8 good years.
You bring her.
And you couldn't try. You see, are you trying to tell that you don't have the competence?
That the name is her.
Okay. Hair, sorry, hair, please. Are you trying to tell that you don't have the competency to write to even American embassy to extradite her?
What you've said now.
Come on.
Now
so please.
A U.S. passport.
I'm praying for all the appointees of NDC that much as we've been able to deliver 365 days without any scandal that I've heard, about the appointees.
That one, we are yet to have the
appointees
report.
Oh yes, that is fine. No, I said I want to pray
because the communication ministry that there is still GVG, there is still Martin Vako. We are yet to go there. Don't go there. Don't go there.
I said I'm praying. Listen, I am praying.
Your prayer will not get anywhere. People have already chopped.
To continue to pray for
there is no yet Auditor General's report.
You wait.
But you know, there was no Auditor General's report before we hear about 5 million liters of oil. Was it?
Honorable, let me
no, there was no Auditor General.
Maybe yours, you do it under G.
All right, let me go to Richard, gentlemen. Richard, are you on?
Yes, I'm here.
If this case should set a precedent, what precedent are we to look at as a political party? Are you expecting a precedent of protection of officials or strict accountability?
Well, Rosalie, I think that brother, of course, what Solo has said and Bernard, of course, I have concern with that. Bernard is talking very freely because you cannot hold him to account any day. He's not in government. He's never been in government. That he plays on the touchline in support of certain agendas, which largely sometimes I agree, but most often I disagree. But in this Ken effort, I think I agree with him. If they want to go and picket at the U.S. Embassy, it is right to do that because accountability is required of anyone who serves public office. Now, I want to put on record that there is no effort by the New Patriotic Party to shield anybody under any circumstance. There's no that effort. And on this program, I have not given you any indication for such. But what I will add and suggest for my brother Bernard is that when they go to the American Embassy to picket, they should add Ferdinand's name to that as one of the people they want returned, because I understand he's also in the U.S. So you should ask for that. You see, and also, and I have not said that Ken has not done anything. I have not said that. I have not said that. And nobody can tell me that Ken has done anything, except that there are charges. Those charges are not factual, they have not been proven, and our laws, I think Article 19 of our Constitution, provide for that. So we all need to be guided by. Akufo-Addo said something, whose name Bernard says he wants to blot with bitumen. I disagree entirely. Said something when it came to time when people were asking how expeditious these allegation charges would proceed in court. He says that due diligence can be a problem if you are not at the receiving end. In other words, it's a necessary mechanism built into our laws to ensure that the government, with all its powers, does not run roughshod over citizens. So it can be uncomfortable for government to observe due process, but it is necessary, okay, for the individual going through that process to be accorded due process. So I'm saying that let's not see due process that comes across in Solo's submission as though due process is nuisance. No, it's constitutional. What the United Party is seeking to do is to observe and uphold the laws of Ghana. Central is the Constitution. So if they are talking like this, it gives us cause to worry, or gives Ghanaians cause to worry, that will they uphold the Constitution in its entirety, or they will seek to observe some part of it and not.
No, but Richard, can I come in? What did I say that suggests that due process will not be followed? Speed without
I'm saying that it's coming across in your submission.
It shouldn't come across because I have not said so.
All right, gentlemen.
Hold on. Hold on.
Richard,
you are told,
Richard.
Hold on, I'm coming. Oh, please.
Why should we?
You are told that
Richard.
The characterization of Ofori-Atta, it is not proven. And you say, what evidence does she want? The evidence you want is that a court of competent jurisdiction should make that pronouncement,
But
not you.
Richard, you must be worried
So
that as
if
a
you
former
are
finance
making-
minister of your party, he is refusing to come to Ghana. He is refusing to even listen to embassy staff.
Where is that? You have just confirmed that
Thank
the
you,
man
thank you,
wants to regularize his
gentlemen.
stay
Are you
in
not
the United
worried?
States of
Wait,
America.
gentlemen, please.
Are you not worried?
You want him to regularize his stay in America.
Richard, are you not worried?
Gentlemen,
How
don't
callous
you,
can you be
Richard.
to the
Don't
nation,
you,
Ghana?
Richard.
Let us enjoy
How Carlos, Richard?
Wait,
You
wait,
want
wait. Unfortunately, we have to go.
to regularize
Now your
his
man
stay
has
in
We have to
America.
go. At this
former
point,
attorney
Richard,
general of
thank
the
you.
United States
Oh.
to defend him
Richard,
to
you
stay in the United States of
to be
America.
here.
Gentlemen,
I'm worried.
Gentlemen,
Yeah.
thank you very much. Unfortunately, time is not on our side. We have to go. Richard, you didn't answer my question, which I wanted you to answer because
not
it's
answer.
very important. Please answer this for me and then
will
you can
not
go.
answer.
If this case sets a precedent, what kind of precedent are you looking at? Protection of officials or strict accountability?
Well, that question, I don't think has arisen.
Thank you very much, Richard Ahiagba. I'm very grateful that you could join. Since you couldn't answer the question, that's fine. Richard Ahiagba, who is the Communications Director for NPP, joined us via Zoom this morning. We also had Honorable Daniel Esiama joining us, and he represented the NDC. Thank you so much, Honorable. We are grateful. Solomon Owusu represented United Party. Thank you so much, Solomon. And Bernard Mona, my very good friend. He's a leader of the PNC. He also joined us this morning. Thank you so much, Bernard Mona. We are grateful. Richard, I'm hoping that next week you will be in the studio because we need you in the studio, not via Zoom. Thank you all so much that Stay Glued to Your Television said for this segment, we can actually, we couldn't read all your messages, but unfortunately, time is not on our side. But tomorrow, we'll try to read all your messages. A very big thank you to all our sponsors. To Koa Natural Fruit Juice is made from pure cocoa with no additives, no sugar added. It's very good for your health, so make sure you grab your Koa Natural Fruit Juice. And also, if you're looking for authentic gadgets to buy, make sure you go to Franco Trading Enterprise for all your gadgets. All the gadgets you can think of, they've got you covered. You can download the app on your phone, which is the Franco Trading app, or visit the website www.francotradingenterprise.com for further inquiries.